got ourselves a group with Dawn's Bane over for the team 1, with Ralph Fist over in the back as well. I was thinking for a second, like, what is... I was going to ask you, wait, I was going to say, are you a Nightborn? Because I was thought to myself, wait, that helm is kind of huge. Is it me, or does this helm look huge in a Blood Elf? Like, absolutely ginormous. Like, this guy's got a big head. Or maybe it's like the shoulders? Is it just me, or does that helm look way too big on a Blood Elf? I was thinking it was like a Nightborn kind of a thing, because the helms on them sometimes are kind of big too. Just because their heads are kind of small for the rest of the body. You know, lanky Night Elf looking kind of guy. Call of Duty is going to be first up versus Saba, instantly dotting him up, got himself the trees and everything. Question is though, who here has their tiers and bonuses? It doesn't look like Judy's got one, because he doesn't have his Dryad or anything, so he's not going to be able to ramp up damage. Saba, however, potentially might have his. And if he's getting him procs, I think he's a Tempest. So as long as he gets some of those Tempest procs, it might be good. Thunder onto Drudy for a second does break out of the root with a burrow. That is a 3-minute cooldown being traded, however, for a root, which is going to be a little unfortunate. Wait, he does have a tree. He does have his tier set. He does have a Dryad. Never mind. So he might be able to do some big damage with the Star Surge eventually. This time with the Saba, do this for Trinket. Trying to see if he catch up to Drudy. Drudy trying to go for a slowdown. He is able to escape the Thunder, the Tempest, the Lightning of Saba. No wind strikes, however. Continue to press on with more Tempest procs. Cyclone trying not to get kicked. Does get a juke it, but it's over. Just way too much damage. Saba lightning bolts him down with Natty. Gonna be up next. Dropping down a big upheaval. Eruptions right after into a lasso. Does go for a trinket, trying to see if he can stay mobile. And looks like Saba, however, is able to land himself quite a bit of a healing pickup with walls also available. He does have the evokers. They just nerfed him. Yep, they nerfed him. Yesterday, apparently, they nerfed the evokers. They used to do a ton of damage. They used to one-shot people. They wouldn't be around for long, but they would just global you and one-shot you. And there was nothing you could do about it. It was wild. Natty, though, is only going to have those helper evokers whenever they deep breath. So unless you're going for that time loop, which I think you might actually be able to soon. Oh, no, you already did rewind. So it might be able to get deep breath back a little sooner. Eruptions of spamming at Saba, but it's just not really doing as much damage without the primer of like a fire breath upheaval combo, where then you have the big bombardment damage. Got himself living flames to at least keep himself alive and healthy. He's gonna go for immunity as Saba closes the gap. Saba does get a rooter to Natty. I think he's still able to build up Maelstrom at the very least. I don't know what that was, just by the way. I don't know what that freeze was. Trying to go for a kick, does not connect. It's going to be Natty charging in forwards, but he's got himself a bit of damage. He's having to go for a lot of recovery himself. Living Flame just to keep himself nice and healthy. So Saba trying to see if he can get himself a root around the corner, holding Natty down with a stun as well. Natty can't stop unless you can take down the totem. Double stun right after. It's going to be huge lightning bolt, so Natty might just go down. Cheat death. Didn't die immediately. With Shiny going to be up next into Assassination Rogue. Pretty sure the coin rogue, isn't it? Yeah, coin flips are in. Cheap shot. Does he have a big setup? Got himself some kind of a mark onto Saba for a second. Getting the shot. Does not sit long at all. Saba will need to use everything to survive this. May just want to go Ascendance and just rock damage back at Shiny. King's Bane is in play. He's got himself the big coin flips. Massive damage out of the Shaman though. Cloak of Shadows with advantage for the Rogue. For Saba, that's an opportunity to at least recover some health. Force the Rogue back into the stealth. Try to see if he can come out. I think Cheap shot him, but he just takes him out, wiping out the Rogue in just a few globals. I don't know if the Rogue ran out knowing that he had TRs onto Saba or what, but does get rocked fairly quickly. Argent, the hot people terrified me. Yeah. I feel like that should just be an out of context quote. Just by itself. Just by itself. Wall out for Saba. The unit's got himself big breath, but DC'd! Saba pulling out the big Shaman moves and dropping him the lightning disconnect on the guy. Literally zapping his modem. What is happening? What is a disconnect? Leo just walks up, DCs, and Saba taking him out, which is super unfortunate. Marcel is going to be joining in though as a assassination rogue. Saba so far just running these boys out of town, man. My God. I did so many keys with them as well. They just have a weird route to play Void Weaver Disc with no tier set. Is Void like no tier or like tier from season 2? I don't know, man. I think Void Weaver Disc is pretty fun. It's a big damage build. It's pretty cool. You just focus on doing damage, but yeah, Archon is a safer. Quick knock by Sabo right into a root totem. Cloak shot is for Marcel unless you go for a reset. DFA is a choice, but I kind of love it. Stun totem is going to land a stun. Marcel without a trinket. Wait, does Marcel just go down? Still in the totem range. It's going to go down with Storm Strikes and Sabo. Taking these boys out with 1-2, 1-2. All right, Sabo. All right, my man. Somebody said enhancement shaman kind of blows. I don't think they're that bad. That being said, against Leo, that was a DC. To be fair, against Leo, that was a DC. So that duel, like Leo couldn't even like do anything. Hokan over for the team 1, ready to go. We got us Saya, we got us Leo, as well as Toxie, and Naughty gonna be first up over for the team 1 versus Aloe, immediately walking in Immolation Aura. I wonder if Aloe's playing the damage over time build for Demon Hunters, because you can play like a big Immolation Aura build. I don't even know if they are though, but they are definitely melting. Aloe's gonna have to find a way to catch up to Naughty, trying to go for first aid, but that's gonna break the dots. I think you're just dead. Yeah, if you don't react to Feral Blades on your own, you're just gonna die. Yeah, I don't even know if Aloe blurred. If they didn't, Aloe definitely needs to blur that. As soon as you get bled up, you need to blur it immediately. Or even just shrink it to make sure the Feral doesn't even put up dots on you in the first place. Just absolutely melted. It's gonna be full burst out by FK9 though. Got himself full Dawn Lights rolling in onto Naughty with a blind to follow. Naughty, I think, is just dead to bleeds of their own, man. They're having a taste of their own medicine. They got to bleed up a Demon Hunter, and now they get it to be dotted up by Holy. Oh, with a final little hit at the end. What was that proc? That little punch from the heavens. That was what really sealed the deal. Man, who's up next? Is it going to be Saya? Saya's giving FK9 as much of a chance to catch up, though. As much of a chance, man. Every opportunity. And this man literally just got to sit there and flash a light himself the entire time. Literally flash a light the entire time. Is he waiting for somebody on the team, maybe? Or is he just trying to die? Don't tell me he's just trying to die. Or is he trying to get low on health? I'm not really sure. Maybe he's like, you know what? Just drop me down. Get me down a little low. I can bubble. I can take it. I can take it. Or maybe he was trying to get attention from his team, being like, yo, team, you guys want to maybe play instead of me? FK Nando has like no health whatsoever. Does get some really solid damage on the Saya, though. And maybe for Plush, this is an opportunity to potentially take down Saya. With a couple of lockdowns. Ooh, assassination. This could potentially be the way to go. Does go for a Shiv. No Kingsman just yet. Saya tried to see if he could back up out of it. And already Saya's immediately melted through those blades, man. Immediately starting to melt behind the pillar little by little. Stun on to Plush. Does get the Dawn Light on him. Trading those dots. Plush potentially could go for a cloak. Does go for a vanish. Garrote and Saya picking up the eye. Does he go for a full stun? Cloak of Shadows immediately. Saya does not go for a Hodge. It's going to be full dots, but immediately Bob out for Saya. No Kingsbane, and Plush may just go down here. He still has eyes. He still can see you, unfortunately. So unless you get yourself a sippy cup, it's just over. Yeah, picking up the eyes as he's going for full burst. He can still see it. Catch up to the Rogue. It is criminally how good that is. Stun instantly onto Goris. Does burn an IBF. Blind onto Saya, who still has a bubble. Saya, as long as he's careful with that bubble and when he uses it, he might be okay. He has Wake of Ashes, so you could potentially just commit full burst damage and just go full bubble and burn down Goris if you wanted to. He may need that bubble. Lay on hands, try to make sure he's maximizing those forbearance buttons as best as he can. Waiting until that full hammer, Wake of Ashes is absolutely cleaving down Goris. What was that cleave? Just a single use of that Wake of Ashes, chopping Goris in half, man. Chunking out the health bar. Does go for a big death pact. Stun onto Saya. Got himself a stun onto Goris. Trying to see if he catch up to Saya. Does get himself the big cleave. Oh, it's not a, I was thinking it was a Soul Reaper. It's not Soul Reaper. It's the other talent. And Saya may be looking for a bubble here. Does go for a bubble off of that silence. Yeah, Goer just stuck. Nowhere to go. With the Smirchka last one left. Is Saya doing a full clean sweep here? I think so, right? I think so. It is going to be a land, what is it? Full first aid. Saya with the flagellation. Oh, getting hit by flagellation. Shadow Blades. The Smirchka try to see if he can power on through. No bubble to stop him. That's the opportunity. This is your chance. Blind last second. Does he have a stun? I don't think he does. So he's backing up out of there. This Smirchka needs to commit. I think at this point just needs to commit. Can you do it though? Shrinking available for Saya. Cloak of Shadows for the Smirchka because he's not taking a lot of damage and cannot be stunned. I think Saya just dies. Just needs one real good hit. Gouge, one more good hit. Cheap shot. Oh, yeah, takes it. But Leo just immediately gonna grab the Rogan. You do have a vanish, but you might just die in this compa. Blind, a vanish, and you just gotta run. Run, Rudolph. You gotta get the hell out of town. Stepping over with a sap, that is some moves. You might just die to the riders, however. Yeah, I think it's over. I think he does. I think he does. She death. Yeah, I think he knew. Sai just absolutely was sweeping, dude. 3. Crazy how good Pally's can hit, man.